All right, so for my last story of tonight, I wanted to cover one of the topics that are super popular right now. I feel like a whole bunch of people are watching it, sitting on the edge of their seats. We have endless amount of live streams on it. That is the escape of the convicted murderer Danelo Cavalcante, and I'm sure I'm not saying that right, but I'm going to get it as close as I can. And you've heard about this, right? From Pennsylvania?
Yeah, we watched it on live stream.
Yeah, that's right. We did watch it on the live stream. We watched his escape on the live stream, which I'll post a picture here. It is so crazy.
Spider crawls.
Yeah, so feet on one wall, hands on the other wall, and then walks up the wall, some Spider-Man moves. But this guy is short, which probably made him able to do it. I don't know if a taller person could do it, too.
It depends, obviously, how wide, like how far apart the walls are.
Yeah. He's 5'2", so a very short man.
No, he's 5'9".
No, he's 5'2".
Are you sure?
100%, because we thought he was 5'0",
yeah.
and verified he's
right.
5'2".
Gosh, that is so short.
It's super short. Very, 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 very short. And he is a Brazilian native, so a Brazilian national. So, who is Danelo Cavalcante?
He said it different.
Yeah, I'm probably going to say it different every time. He's 34 years old, Brazilian national, and was convicted of first-degree murder in April of 2021, killing his former girlfriend, 33-year-old Deborah Brandau, and he was sentenced to life in prison. Now, Danelo, I'm not going to call him by his last name because I just don't want to have to say that every time. So, Danelo, which is the prisoner that escaped, has multiple murders under his belt, okay? He's wanted for a murder in Brazil where somebody tried to... It was like an issue between a car dealing or something like that. Trying to sell a car, something didn't go right, or maybe he was breaking in a car, something to do with the car and another person, and he killed him. Ran, came to the U.S., had a disagreement, was in an abusive relationship with his then-girlfriend, which I'll post a picture if I can find it, but he ended up stabbing her like... Dude, I think it was like 28 times or something like that. And it was a gruesome, horrible murder of his girlfriend. So he got life behind bars. And not to mention that, you know, he killed his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, in front of her 2 children.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the evidence was...
demented.
I agree. And super dangerous. A super dangerous guy to be able to fly off the handles like that and take a mother's life in front of her 2 children. Like, what is going on up there, man?
In such a terrible, terrible way.
Horrible way. Multiple stabbings. More punctures than could be easily counted. I forget the exact number, but it was a lot, dude. It was way excessive, over the top. I mean, one's excessive, but it was like a lot more than normal, you know? So he did that in front of his 2 children, and the evidence against him was so concrete and slam dunk that it only took the jury 15 minutes of deliberation to return a guilty verdict.
Jeez.
Yeah. Super
Must set
fast.
a record or something.
Yep.
15 minutes.
Her daughter was 7 years old that witnessed it, and her son was 3 years old that witnessed it.
Oh my
so,
gosh.
yeah, awful.
Were they his kids too? Or
no.
No. Okay.
Nope. Yeah, so, okay, I did write it down. So, April 2021, Danelo went to Brandau's home about 30 miles northwest of Philadelphia and stabbed her 38 times. 38 times in front of her 2 children. And the 2 had only been dating for about a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, so I wouldn't call that a long relationship. I guess, medium, mid-length relationship. But he felt confident enough to do something like that. I don't know. It didn't give a whole bunch of details of the relationship leading up to that, but it did say that they had a pretty toxic relationship, horrific pattern of domestic violence, and that's the outcome of it. So, yeah. So he came to the U.S. and is a former agricultural worker. He's also wanted for, here's that murder. So a 2017 murder of a 20-year-old man over a car repair debt in Brazil. The district attorney's office had said investigators learned that Danelo fatally stabbed Brando because she had learned about his open murder warrant in Brazil.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man. And had threatened to expose him to police. So he was convicted of that, okay? We'll get caught up to where we are now. He was convicted of that. He was sentenced. He was in a Pennsylvania prison, and he got the chance at 9 a.m. in the morning in August 31st at 9 a.m. and did the spider climb up the wall, hopped down it, hopped over a couple fences.
Once the additional razor wire had been added to the escape route, following Igor Bolt's escape in May, it was determined by our security advisors that this one level of security was sufficient. In fact, what was perhaps overlooked was the fact that addressing the single point of physical countermeasure should have been bolstered by additional means. We are addressing that.
And is now on the run. For the last 10 days, he has been in the general area. I believe it's within a 5-mile radius of the original place that he broke out from. He was sentenced to life, so he was never getting out. He doesn't have a lot of options. The guy is extremely dangerous. And if you guys are from that area, I mean, one of the things that we talked about on stream is if you have family or friends in that area, I would check on them daily.
I would too.
I would call them and be like, yo, we need to have a code word that we text each other, you know, midday and at night to let us know we're okay. So if you don't text that code word to me or something, I know to come over there looking, because it sounds like, based on everything I was reading here, that he was going in houses. He has been caught on cameras, on trail cams of him carrying bags that he didn't leave with. He left the prison wearing his prison clothes, like a gray pants or a gray shirt and a dark colored pant, and has been caught a couple times. So you know that investigators saw him in person and started chasing him, and he got away from them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. He has also been found in somebody's basement, a man's basement, heard something in the basement. He went down there, turned on the lights, and was face to face with him. And he casually walked up the basement steps and out the house.
What?
Terrifying. So, August 31st, around 9 a.m., he escapes. September 1st, the very next day, U.S. Marshals join the hunt. So that's when things get serious. That is like U.S. Marshals' specialty, is to hunt these guys down. They know everything that they need to do to get them found and caught, and have a very high success rate. They have helicopters out, they have drones out, they have dogs out, they have every law enforcement agent that they can pull together in the surrounding area. They're blocking all roads. There's live stream cameras all over. Like, this is a huge deal. Police are in every neighborhood, on every road. So, like, it's just an amount of time of waiting. It's just when. When is he
Yeah.
going to get caught up? Because they blocked pretty much every roadway. Now, I couldn't find anywhere that they're using like heat signature body cam, but there's no way that they're not doing that. They probably just don't want him to be alerted to it, maybe. I don't know, you know? But a lot of helicopters and drones are outfitted with those things already, so why wouldn't you use them? But he's got away for 10 days so far.
Yeah, I mean, whatever he's been doing's been working. I
Yeah.
know a lot of the locals feel like it's showing incompetency, like they feel like there's an issue here that he hasn't been caught yet, that it's...
Yeah.
Which I understand. It's scary. You have a convicted murderer running around your town, and like they
Yeah.
can't catch him, and they've got him boxed into this 5-mile radius, and see him on cameras, but still can't get him.
I get it. I get it. I
get
see
it too.
where they're coming from with feeling like they're incompetent, but I do think that law enforcement a lot of times is a waiting game, right? Because they can't control where he's at, but they can control the area he's in, okay? So, you know, it's not like they can force him to give up from laying under a rock all day. He's got to come out where he can be seen. So as long as they control the area to where he won't be able to get out of that area, I think they're going to get him. I think they're doing the right things. I feel like we're moving the right directions here. The only thing in this entire situation that made me throw up a question mark here is not the amount of days, because everything's being done right, and I also understand there's a waiting time sometimes, but the one thing is they had to move their lockdown area once. They caught him on a trail cam,
yeah.
which was close to the edge or right on the edge of where their area was that they're controlling. So they had to move it over just a little bit, just a tiny, tiny bit. Now, that does seem like, well, okay, how did he get right there around that area and not get caught, you know what I mean? But he didn't get any further than that, so I guess that's a good thing. He has been able to pick up food in houses. Labor Day weekend, Danelo was spotted multiple times, and I think that's when that chase ensued. We have September 4th at 8:21 p.m. Danelo is seen on a trail cam. September 5th, search shifts south a little bit, what we were just talking about. September 6th, release security footage showing escape, and that's what we watched just the other night.
And it's wild.
It is wild, and I will try and post the video. I'll cut it out and post it on here so everyone can see what we're talking about. September 7th, search crews battle heat and humidity. So yeah, the search crews have been out there for a while with dogs and blocking roads, and even the news guy was complaining about how long he's been up out there, like 24-hour periods, you know. So but again, I go back to, I try and back police and law enforcement in any situation, anytime that I can. I feel like I'm seeing them do the right things. I don't know what else they could be doing. I don't know. We got drones. We got helicopters. We got planes. We got dogs. They're searching all the areas. Every road is blocked. There's police on every road. They're reaching out and communicating with people in the community. Like, I feel like they're doing everything, you know?
Yeah. The only thing is, if they have this 5-mile radius, why didn't they like evacuate people or anything? Like, if he's really dangerous and capable of murdering people.
That's a lot of people. I don't know if I've ever seen them evacuate places for this guy. Their main point that they continue to make is that don't approach him. If you see him, do not approach him. So call 911. Do not approach him.
I don't know who would want to approach that man.
I mean, if you got a gun or something, that's a little bit
somebody
different.
might
but...
try to like play cop or something.
Yeah, one thing they did say is just, you know, check your backyards, things like that. They've caught him on some cams in people's backyards, and alarms had been going off in like a really rich, nice area in town. Some alarms had been going off, like motion sensor alarms and things like that. So it sounds like he's been all over the place, like nonstop walking, you know.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's doing in the daytime. He's got to get holed up in the daytime. and it's got to be outrageous. So if the search crews are battling heat, then he's battling the heat too.
Yeah,
you know,
which is probably why in all the surveillance footage he doesn't have a shirt on.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Yeah, so at 8:51 a.m., he escapes prison, crab walking up a wall, pushed his way through razor wire, and you can see one of his pieces of clothing on the razor wire when you watch that video. Run across the roof, scaled another fence, and pushed his way through more razor wire.
Ow.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Wait, he pushed his way through razor wire 3 times?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Yeah.
How does he not have cuts all over him?
Maybe he does. Maybe he does. On the trail cams, he's shirtless. I don't see anything, but it's kind of hard to see something on the trail cams. So
the quality isn't like wonderful.
Right. So here's the spotting. So it was seen in a heavily wooded area, and he evaded capture. He was seen on surveillance cameras on Saturday carrying a backpack. On Monday, he was seen on a trail cam near Longwood Bottoms or Longwood Gardens, a botanical garden, which is further south. As a result, the attraction was closed Wednesday. Confirmed sightings in a township. Was spotted again near Longwood Gardens. So he's staying in the area, I think, in the vicinity, forcing a temporary lockdown. Yep. Ryan Drummond, who lives in the township, told the Times that he is 100% certain that he encountered him Friday evening after hearing a sound in his kitchen and finding a pair of doors cracked open. He saw a man carrying a bag leave his house after he turned on the light. He later discovered he was missing fruit, and when the police arrived, there was no one to be found.
Friday, even before we went to bed, we were all out on the deck, enjoying our Friday, and we were locking up the house because we knew that there was a prisoner on the loose, and we had this old French door that was off the side of our deck, and I really struggled to get it locked, and my daughter was very concerned. I said, don't worry, he's probably nowhere near here, and of course, why would he ever come to this door? So we end up going to sleep. I hear a noise at around 11:30. I walk out of the bedroom, and from my bedroom, I can look down. So I look down towards the living room, and the kitchen's off to the side. And I thought I heard a noise. I went back to my wife and I said, hey, I don't want to freak you out, but I think there might be somebody downstairs. Grab your phone. I went back out. I saw that the door was slightly ajar. That's when my stomach dropped. I ran down the hallway to make sure all my kids were accounted for. And when I came back, I could start to hear, a little bit of shuffling. So I grabbed any kind of weapon that I could. And ironically, the only thing that I had there was a picture frame of my wife and kids. And when I grabbed it, I did like a Frisbee motion. Should I go over the head? And in that moment, I realized how ridiculous this is. Here you have this guy who's a murderer surrounded by steak knives, because we did have steak that night. And I looked to my left and saw the light switch and decided to flick the light switch on and off 3 or 4 times. And there was a little bit of a pause. And then he flicked the light switch back at me from the kitchen. So that was kind of the acute moment of terror. I turned to my wife. I said, he's downstairs. Call 911 right now. And at that point, there was a little bit of a pause. And, I wasn't sure if he was going to come up the steps, in which case I would, have to go down and there would be a confrontation. And in that moment, I saw him walk out of the kitchen into the living room, not even running, just kind of walking methodically. He had a white shirt, white bag, white hat, and he went out that French door. And by that time, I was on the phone with the police, and they arrived moments later.
Ryan, real quick, because I'm limited on time. Do you think that he was signaling to you, stay where you are and nobody gets hurt? Is that what you interpreted that flick of the switch to be?
I do. I mean, I flicked to let him know I know you're downstairs, and I feel like he was flicking back going, yeah, I'm here. So I think you're on
Ryan,
there,
a lot of local businesses, quick final thought. This has been devastating for local businesses that have had to close. You've got one top of mind. What is it?
Carco. We have a gas station, convenience store. There's not a lot around here. So he stayed open. He supported the cops. He's given them Gatorades, let them use the air conditioning as refuge, and he's lost, at this point, 9 days of customers. And I feel
What a
for the
shame.
guy, and I just, anybody local, yeah, hope they can sport him.
And then the other guy with the basement, wild stuff. Wild stuff. If you guys are from the area, just stay safe. I wanted to touch on this to let you guys know that we are watching this. We did hear about this even just 2 days after it started. A couple people asked us to talk about it, so I figured it would be a good topic just to touch on. The guy is super dangerous, so I just hope nobody out there thinks that they're going to be like some pull the old white knight, grab the guns, and get out there. You know, it's just it's not worth it. It's not worth it. The U.S. Marshals are BAs, you guys. Let them do their job. Let them take this guy down. He has a couple murders under his belt. They aren't playing around.
No, and I do think they're doing all the things. Like, clearly they are putting a lot of resources and time into this. Like, a lot. And I understand people's frustrations, obviously. Like, this is terrible. But, I mean, what else can they really do?
I can't think of anything else that they could do other than just creating systems to where the surrounding people can be safer. That's my number one concern, right? Because he's a convict. He's in for life, so whether he goes down in a blaze of glory or not, I guess it doesn't really matter. But the people that he's interrupting their lives and their safety, we should just be focused as much as possible on keeping those people safe, in my opinion. But
yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys think, how you feel about the current search. Do you feel like they're doing anything they can? If you don't feel like they're doing everything they can, what else could or should they be doing? I know we have some viewers that are law enforcement on here or attorneys. We have a good range of different viewers, so I would love all your opinions and your thoughts on it. So, yeah, stay safe out there, Pennsylvania.
Lock your doors. Get a security camera.
Get a dog.
Yeah, get a dog.
And a gun.
A dog and a gun.